mathematics and science. Um, so there are two qualifiers to this learning. One is accelerated learning and the other one is mastery over the subject. So we will have a discussion around this with respect to the current practices that we are having in school, and then what are the different shortcomings, or you can say gap areas, and how to fill them. And once you fill them, then actually what happens? So we'll see through some initial result that we have got this year and last year together. So this will be like overall, you can say, outline of my presentation today. Um, I want this to be very interactive because this is something I think um, all of us has gone through in some part of the time, whether through a school, or if you are a teacher, then you will be teaching. If you are owner of a school, then you will be managing these problems on a daily basis. So just stop me anywhere if you have any question, we'll discuss and then go ahead. So first thing first, what is mastery and mastery based accelerated learning? So mastery is very simple. You are the master of the subject, meaning if you want to quantify numbers, then it means like you understand it 100%. Meaning if someone is asking some question in that particular subject, you will score 100%. So that's how mastery is defined. Acceleration is something which is very, very interesting concept, in the sense learning is not linear. Learning is non-linear actually. So how to make this learning a non-linear curve which is continuously increasing? So maybe initially you are very slow, but over the time this speed is actually changing, and after some time your learning speed is increasing. So what happens, like whoever is learning at a constant rate, um, through this mechanism, the student actually go ahead of all those students who are learning at a constant speed. So this concept is very important, especially in terms of competitive exams that we are having today. So there, it's not about knowing everything, but you are about knowing early, because some of the exams they have cut off on time, meaning you cannot appear after 1 year of your plus two and so on. So you have to learn, and you have to learn fast. So if that is achieved, then basically we are master of the subject and we are able to crack those competitive exams. So with this, we'll start with the purpose of education. So as per Central uh, Board of Secondary Education, it is to promote intellectual, social, and cultural diversity among its learners and empower the future citizens to become global leaders. So that's how our CBSE board is actually wanting us to become a global leaders, obviously in different areas in the emerging knowledge society. So this is the purpose of education as per the definition. Um, so with this purpose, we will see what is there in the current practice. So you all know this is very, very common thing. I'm just reiterate to bring in some of the gap areas that we see. If that is filled, then we are able to achieve mastery and acceleration. So essentially, we start at LKG and UKG, first, second, third, and so on. And then we have 10th and then plus two. So that's how we learn. This is called basic education. You can say primary education. So basically, everything is basically based on this pattern. Um, and then after that, you have graduation, post-graduation, and so on and so forth. But this becomes the base for each and everything that we do later part in the career and the life. So, so this how it happens is essentially we study for a year in one class. That's how it is defined, academic year, and it is almost one calendar year also. Um, so we have to stay for 1 year and then pass the class to go to the next class. So this is how we move from one class to other class. There is a passing criteria after 1 year duration. Then that passing criteria as per CBSE is 33% to 100%. Anywhere between this, if you score in all the subjects, then you are actually declared as a pass, and then you go to the next class. In case of lower score, then you are termed as a failed student. Then if someone fails, then you have to spend 1 more year in the current class. If the failure is only marginal in one subject or two, then you are given a second chance also. So but this is high level, this is the pattern. If you fail, then you have to spend on 1 more year in the current class. The number of subject in each class varies. So that's how the syllabus is defined. I mean, the way student grows, the way his abilities actually they improve. Accordingly, the syllabus and the books and everything is designed in such a way that as the student is growing, he or she will be able to learn those subjects. So once this syllabus is there, then we are asked to study all the subject for a fixed duration daily. So that's how it is. For each day, the class is designed in such a way, whatever subject is there, there will be a period. So you have to study that particular subject for that period, and then this will keep on repeating on a daily basis. Then to check understanding, we have in-class exercise and homework to ensure understanding of the content that is taught in the class. So this is how it happens. So essentially, it is kind of a feedback mechanism. So whatever you have taught, how do you know what they have understood? Then we have, after that, we have periodic tests and midterm exams. And finally, we have a final exam. And there are certain criteria to decide on fail and pass based upon the midterm exams and final exams and so on. So finally, once we have the so what happens is, while we are learning the midterm exam and exercises and test that we are having. So what happens, like you do the test, and then the teacher will collect the answer books, and then it will be like he or she, the teacher will go and then check your copies, and then give marks, and then you will get your copies back, and then you will understand like, okay, how many questions you have done right or how many questions you have done wrong. So that's how it happens. So generally what happens, like between the exam and result, there may be 1 or 2 day, maybe in some cases it may turn out to be a week duration also in between. So after that you get the result. And in general, in a class there are 40 to 50 students. So this is kind of the current practice that we are having. That's how each and every school class they are organized, and that's how they do this learning and teaching. So we find certain gap areas here, and we also find like where it takes a lot of time, where if it is fixed, then it will make this entire process very effective. So first, teaching. So what are the gap areas in teaching? The first thing that we see is the passing mark. So aggregate of 33% as per CBSE in subject is the requirement to pass the that particular class. So it also means a student is promoted to next class without understanding 67% of the subject. So if we give the analogy, suppose there is a 12-story building, and the rule is like this: each floor will be constructed by one contractor, and he is given material and time. So after that particular amount of time, whether he is able to use the material or not, irrespective of that, he has to leave the project, and the second contractor will come and he will start the building of second floor and so on. Now imagine if the first floor is not complete, then what will happen to the second floor? So suppose the guy is very smart, he manages to build the second floor also, but there will be a problem. When it comes to the third floor, again there will be an issue. And if the second floor itself is not 100% complete, then there is a issue with the third floor and so on and so forth. If this keeps on happening, then eventually after some time, the building will collapse. It will not actually stand. And the collapsing of a building, if we understand this analogy, it is actually dropping out of the student from the class. So that's how it is. So basically, it starts with not understanding the subject, converts into disinterest, and then converts into dropping out. So that's how this process happens, and it takes time. I mean, sometimes it takes years of time, 2, 3, 4 years of time. And after that, the student decides that this is not my cup of tea. Better I try something else in my life. So this is first issue. Second is design of syllabus. Now understand, this is a rule. This is the kind of a standard set by the CBSE, and everyone has to follow. But the same CBSE, when they write the book, they assume that the student has studied and understood the concept of the lower class 100%. Meaning, while writing the book, the author of the book, they take this very, very basic assumption that the student has completed 100% of the previous class and he is able to understand this particular class, the next class. But this particular assumption is not valid because you are putting the passing criteria as low as 33%. So there is a difference. Now coming to the teacher. For a teacher, there is a problem because in the class, there is a student who has just got 33% and there is a student who has got 95%, 98% maybe. In some subject, maybe 100%. Now for a teacher, what level he should start? So basically then he will simply take some level and start teaching. So that particular level may be good for a middle level student and boring for a very bright student and very difficult to understand for a lower level student. So in a given class, this is because of the variation of the level of the students. This is the kind of problem faced by different students. And then we have time, which is fixed. And every year is academic year, and the time, the number of classes, number of hours of study is fixed. Now that particular amount of time may not be sufficient for someone who is weak, and maybe more than required for someone who is very, very sharp. So here what is actually fixed is the time, not the quality. Meaning the student which is coming out of the class, there will be variation in the level of the student. However, the time is fixed for each and every student. So we find these are the gap areas in teaching. Now gap areas in learning from the student's perspective. So for a student, each individual is different in itself and unique. So uniqueness and different, it doesn't mean it is a weakness. So difference should not be seen as a weakness. We cannot, if everyone is exactly the same, then there is no role for the second person. First one will do exactly what others are doing. So difference is nature. It has to be there. Otherwise, like other will lose their existence. So their relevance they will lose. So each and every individual is different, and they have got very, very unique qualities in themselves. So each and every student has a different level of grasping power in terms of learning something, which is not recognized in the current system. In the sense, we don't have a mechanism to gauge the ability of each and every student all the time. Although some of the schools, some of the teachers will do kind of a initial screening test, maybe some psychometrics test, so just to understand, but that was for that particular amount, that time, not for each and every day. I mean, if you test some student for once when he was joining, it doesn't mean that the student remains like that all the time. He will change over the time. He may become bad, he may also become good, depending upon the situation and other thing. So we don't have a way to recognize the ability of the student on a regular basis, or you can say on a daily basis. The student weakness is hidden, meaning a student himself or herself does not understand what he or she does not know. This is the first problem, meaning I don't know what I don't know. So if I know what I don't know, then it becomes very easy to target. So, but since I don't know, then I don't know where to target. But there is no one to help me, meaning my teacher also does not know what I don't know. And my mother and my father also don't know what I don't know. So essentially, there is no one who knows like what I know, what I don't know. I was tested based upon some question, but that question was not the entire syllabus. I may be lucky that the question was asked like at the same question I studied last day, but it does not mean I know everything. So knowing and passing may not be the exact reflection of the situation. So essentially, this is hidden, and if the weakness is hidden, then it cannot be converted into strength until unless we um, open it and we see like what is the weakness and where is the weakness. Then there is the problem of slow learner, as we discussed. So for those learners who are very slow, maybe the time that is given is not sufficient. You need more time, but there is no such provision for slow people. We should have a longer duration of class and so on and so forth. Again, for fast learner, there is no mechanism that the student is very fast and he learns very fast. So in a year, he can pass 2 exams and then go to the third class in a given year. So there is no such provision in general. If you have to do that, then you have to actually make a case like my student or my kid is very, very sharp, and then he knows everything in the class. You can take the exam and so on and so forth. You have to make a case, but this is not a general practice. So what is happening is the system does not give more time to those who are weak, and also does not allow others who are fast so to go to the next class. So these are kind of gaps that we see. Now coming to the solution. Before coming to the solution, essentially the solutions are based upon the gap that we have identified. If there is any question or comment anyone want to make, we can take. Okay, so looks like there is no question comment. Let's go.
Dilshad bhai, one question from me.
Yes, yes.
So whatever challenges we are seeing or the current system,
Yeah.
the gap. So does the CBSE or these institutions, they also analyze this and they are working on this, or?
Okay, so this is very, very important. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So it's not like they don't know. That is first. Many times we do something knowingly that I know that I'm doing that is not perfect, that is something substandard. It's not the best because of the certain constraint. Because when it comes to constraint, we actually try to manage things. So there are hard constraints. For example, in a class, you have 40 to 50 students and your class duration is maybe 40 minutes or so. It for a teacher, it's not possible to talk to each and every student on a daily basis. This is a very, very hard constraint. Why 40 student, 50 student? Again, there is a financial constraint, which is again very, very, very hard constraint. So if you keep only 5, 6 students, then teacher can manage each and every student without any problem. But having those many teachers is not practical. So because of practicality issues, many things are done. People know that, but they cannot solve it because the constraints are really hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dilshad sir, this is Javed. I have a question for you.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
Now, we have seen that education system in India predominantly is now some kind of a standard based, and you have covered these gaps thoroughly. But one thing
Yes.
what we fail to understand is the role of the teachers who are not able to cover the entire syllabus in the previous year or pay even attention to that syllabus in the previous year, and students are expected to know the complete syllabus in the next year. How do
Correct.
we fill this gap?
Yes, sir. Very nice question. We'll see like how we do. So as I said, like whatever steps we talk about, our solution is going to cover them. We'll see that.
Sure. Thank you.
Yes.
So, sir.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Kumar.
sir. I am Dr. Kumar.
Yes. Sir.
What I feel is, I am from the engineering college. So what I feel is, induction program shall be done for at least 1 or 2 weeks, as we are doing, even for those students. Then we can brush up what they have not covered. What I feel.
Correct. So there are concepts around this, what you said as an induction program.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some of the people who are actually managing this problem. So there is one concept of AICU that is conducted by Shine Academy. AICU is academic ICU. So basically there is a very intensive care unit where there is one teacher and only 6 students.
Yes.
2 right, 2 left and 2 front. That's it. And they have to sit almost about 10 hours a day in front of the teacher, and teacher will try to understand each and every bit of the subject. I mean, if it is mathematics, then everything, starting from plus minus table, these that everything they will try to. If it is mathematics, again same thing, English again same thing, science again same thing. So they have this concept, and they are claiming that starting from 0 level, within 18 months duration, they are able to make a student understand 10th standard concepts.
Very good. Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, the concepts are there around this. Yeah, what you said is one of the solution people try. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर, दिलशाद सर जी सर, आपसे ये क्वेश्चन है कि जैसे कि गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज स्कूल जो होते हैं उसके अंदर तो ये चीजें इंडक्शन प्रोग्राम वगैरह तो नहीं हो सकता है
जी,
तो उसके लिए हम कैसे करेंगे उसके लिए, क्योंकि वहाँ पर टाइम लिमिटेड होता है.
Yes, sir. For all government, other schools and so on and so forth, whatever solution we are going to discuss, I think it can be adopted. We ask only for 2 hours per day, not more than that. So if we are able to give 2 hours, we can address those problems.
Okay, thank you, sir.
We'll see our solution. Yes, sir. Okay. So let me go ahead now. So nice, like the questions were really relevant. Thank you very much. So now coming to the solution part, how to solve this problem. So I'm going to talk about the solution without talking about the implementational details. So again, it will be theoretical only. So you may find it like theoretical, and but we have actually did it. So let me disclose. We have tried to bring in one component in addition to what all is there, and that component is technology. So we try to bring in technology in the entire process, and with the help of technology, we are able to address some of the, in fact, all of the gap areas that we discussed. So we'll see. So now first thing is solution from the learning point of view. So starting from the student itself, self-paced. So we discussed like each student is unique in itself. So each student should be given a personal, freedom to learn. I mean, I may take 10 minutes to solve one problem, and someone may take 1 minute to solve that same problem, but I should be given that 10 minutes. That freedom I want. Otherwise, if the teacher is giving only 5 minutes, probably I will never be able to solve a problem. So self-paced actually gives that freedom. So in this personalized program to help the student to proceed at on pace, meaning there is no deadline, there is no next thing coming in. The current thing is the only thing that I have to work on. There is no pressure of peer that you have to complete the syllabus, others are ahead of you and you are behind them and so on and so forth. Those things are just not there. I am alone with my teacher. So if I get this concept and I am alone with my teacher, I have no peer pressure. Only thing I have to do is to understand the concept, learn the subject, that's it. And once I learn, I can go ahead without caring what others are doing. So, and then someone will say like, then what about the competition? So here, I am not talking about the healthy competition here. Healthy competition can come at a later level, meaning those students are doing good, I am not doing good. at not at really executional level, like I'm not able to solve this problem, others are able to solve that problem. Not at that level. So one subject at a time. Again, same thing. I'm trying to remove the other burden. So one subject at a time, meaning learn one subject for a long duration, meaning you give good amount of time as per your wish to a single chapter, single subject, and at that particular time, one topic at a time, so that your entire focus is on that particular subject, and give sufficient amount of time to understand. So idea is like, while you are learning, there should not be any pressure whatsoever. And then gain mastery. So mastery means you learn the subject 100%. Before understanding it 100%, do not go to the next. I mean, it's not like time is over, now you have to go to next. No, the only criteria to move to the next is the 100% of understanding, meaning you learn it, you test yourself and prove yourself that I know this through test, and after scoring 100% in all the questions, then only you can go to the next topic. So that's how this mastery thing is, along with the self-test, is achieved. So here you can take as much time as needed to understand any topic. This is very important. Now, note making skill. Here, so up till this point, we are talking about only approach. Now I'm coming to the execution part. Note taking is very important. As we write, actually it helps us understand, and that also in turn helps us in representing in the examination. So while learning, we ask the student to make notes, and some of the students are very good in making notes. So after watching the lecture, you have to make note. Evaluation. So we have monthly physical test to verify the knowledge and to improve presentation skill. And at that time, students are asked to solve the question on a paper first. So before that, while we are learning, everything is tested online. But after that, we have a physical test also, just to confirm the presentation skill, writing skill, and so on and so forth. Then forward journey advantage. So what happens? The student is learning at self-paced, so there is no boundary between two classes. So as soon as you complete the first class, you go to the next class, and so on and so forth. So basically, there is no time. I mean, it's not like you have to study for that much of time, then you can go. It's only the mastery. If you are master of the current subject, current class, go to the next class, and so on. So so happens like the student can actually complete many years mathematics in a few months duration. That we will see in the result. And then since this happens, and then learning speed goes on. So here the learning speed is not constant. It becomes like non-linear learning speed. So what happens, like the student actually gains time advantage over other student by finishing up syllabus early. So at one end, the student is getting mastery. At the other end, he is also actually moving at a faster speed and actually goes ahead of the colleague. That's how it happens. And precise revision strategy. Here, what we do, we have a LMS record all the activities and scores of the test. So what happens, like learning happens through technology, as I said, learning management system. And as the student is watching video, trying the question, and so on, everything is getting recorded along with date and time. So what happens tomorrow before the final exam or any mid-exam, I have to do my revision. So where to start, what to learn, because I cannot learn everything in a day. So here LMS actually, these record actually tells us where I made my mistakes while I was learning for the first time. If I get the list of all those topic and questions, I can quickly go through them and ensure that, yes, I know now everything. So our revision strategy will become very precise, meaning you are actually hitting the target. You are not beating about the bush. So as you hit the target, then you have to put less amount of effort since it is targeted, and your success is guaranteed because you actually learn what you are not knowing. It's not like you are learning something which you already knew. So So here, a precise revision strategy actually makes exams and revision very, very easy for us. Now coming to the teaching part. So learn from the best teacher. So this is our concept. What we are saying, generally what happens, like we are limited by the quality of the teacher. I mean, in some of the questions we have seen. So today there are like people, there are universities, there are governments also. They feel that knowledge has to be free. And today's digital world, it can be made really free by putting everything on the internet. So we actually take this advantage. We also believe that knowledge is free and it is available for the free. It's not like 100% of the knowledge is free. Many people still sell the knowledge, but for us, whatever we want is actually free, and more than that is actually free. So the task is to find the right thing for our student. Let not the student find the content that they have to learn. So our teacher actually come into play. They find best videos, best content from the internet, and then put in the LMS, and then we ask student to learn from them. So that's how we are actually letting our student learn from the best teacher of the world. And then from there, this note making and things happen. Then practice-based learning. So we give a lot of questions, online questions to the student by just twisting them so that they are able to learn, read, learn, and try it out. And before trying on the screen, they are asked to try the question on paper, so that their writing and understanding skill is also developed. So what happens here, if you are doing thing online, there are some advantage of online thing. One, error. You can manage error. You can use your online system is tested and tried. All the answers are correct, so that you can actually verify it. So there is no chance that a student will hit the wrong answer and then still it will say right. And meaning there is no misleading for the student, because it is a computer-based system. Everything is tested and tried. So then the student knows the mistakes very quickly. And if I know I'm wrong, I can fix it. So if I don't know where I'm wrong, it will take a lot of time to just understand I'm wrong, and then another effort to fix it. So early you know that you are wrong, it is easy to fix. So while you are learning, you actually do the testing, and then as soon as you do something wrong, then you are given hint, you are given a link to videos to go through them, so that you go and verify your understanding, and then come back and try the test until unless you pass the test 100%. So that's how I mean, failing fast is very effective strategy to improve things. So that's how we apply here. Then conceptual clarity. Here what we ask student is, we generally ask student of class 7, 8, 9 and 11 to learn through the system, because we are asking for 2 hours per day, and for lower class it becomes very difficult for them, and is not actually needed. But for 7 class student, 8 class student, we ask them to start from class 1 mathematics, meaning we do not make any assumption whatsoever, like what a student knows, what he does not know. So kind of we are trying to give a second chance to revise the entire concept from starting from class 1. And then again, same thing, mastery based concept. You complete the class 100% and then go to the next class. So provide solid clarity and good interlinking of all the concepts. So you are starting from base and then you are learning. So you know like which concept is used in the next class and so on and so forth. That interlinking and thought development is actually happening very, very strongly here. So, so this is one concept that we are applying. You start from class 1. You not class from your current class, whether it is 7th standard, 8th standard, or 9th standard. And those students we have seen who are very good in mathematics, they will complete the maybe first class in 1 day, and then maybe second class again in 1 day. In a week time, they will complete like 4 or 5 years mathematics. So it's like very, very fast for them. And for those students who are not that good, it may take 2 or 3 weeks time, but that pays off, because after that their learning speed goes up and they become almost equal to the other student. Then personal assistant. Here it is not only the system or computer that is actually there with you. We have a teacher available with you. So whenever you are learning, you're asked to share a screen in case of online, and if it is offline, then teacher is there to monitor your activities. As soon as you are stuck, then teacher is there to help you. So you ask question, and teacher is supposed to help you in your question, not like addressing the entire class. So that way it is one-on-one help from the teacher, and that is for my current problem. So if I get a helping hand in my current problem, the question that is difficult for me, then it is going to fix my current problem. It's not going to get carry forward. So here what happens, if you're getting help and your problem is solved, again you save a lot of time, and it gives confidence that yes, now I understand the concept, and after that I have tried question and it is working. So I know that my concepts are now solid. So these two, the practice based on learning, conceptual clarity, and personal skills, these three, they actually add to the speed in general, because these are the areas where in regular classes we spend a lot of time, and many times student pass out with a lot of confusion and misconception in the subject. So we try to remove it 100% from the day one, and we do not allow carrying it forward, because we have put a very strong criteria of 100% passing in the past class. Then 1:20 teacher student ratio. This is again like so that in each class student can actually interact for at least 5 to 6 minutes to the student, to the teacher, so that every day you have a chance to talk to the teacher, and teacher is also having good amount of time to discuss with the student. So this facilitates the teacher to give personal attention to each student, because the number of students is only 20, and the teacher is also looking at the screen. At the same time, he is also looking at the dashboard, the activity of the student. So basically from the front and also from the activity based point of view, teacher is actually having complete view of the activities of the student while the student is learning. It's not like tomorrow, exactly at the real time basis, this attention is there. And then this, to make this entire process energetic and motivate students and so on, we have prizes, motivational talks, and career guidance, and so on and so forth, so that it's not only the subject and the percentage, but also it gives you a perspective like what you will get at the end of the day. If you learn everything, then what is the chance that you can become a doctor, you can become an engineer, you can become a businessman, and so on and so forth. So then it gives you motivation to continue to work. So this is our kind of methodology. And I think we have discussed these two slides, which is the crux of our solution. I mean, is there any question, point to discuss, or any clarity we can take, and then go to the next step of implementation and results? Okay. So let me go to ecosystem. Now, there is another concept here. What we are saying is, actually, if we see, it is the student which is going to learn the subject, and it is his learning, his knowledge, his career. So if we separate the student from the entire process and leave him with the books and exams, then we see that this is not a very healthy situation, especially for the student. He or she may feel that I am alone. What we are saying is, this is a part of the ecosystem. A student is part of the system, and anything that student is going good or bad, it is actually not the student, it is the system that doing good or bad. So in the system, we have these 5 entities. They are highly connected to each other. I mean, the information flow has to be very, very seamless and regular basis. So the job of the student is to watch lecture, make notes, and then clarify doubts with the help of his teacher, and then study on LMS like Khan Academy and our Peak Academy LMS that we are having. So we are open to adopt anything which is already available or freely available, whether it is book, either videos or learning management system or anything. So we adopt a lot of things actually, just to make things cost effective and do not reinvent the wheel. Whatever is already done, use it and get the benefit out of it. So we are of that opinion and we use it. Tomorrow, if you find something else effective, we'll adopt them. And then teacher, the role of the teacher is to assist a student in difficulties, then collect learning material, conduct physical exam, then if something is having problem with the student, address at the personal level also. So then teacher and student, they are connected on a daily basis. Then principal is connected through LMS and teacher to the student. So the learning roadmap, how they are going to learn, and then learning material, and then student progress. The principal is going to connect with the parent, and parent in turn are connected with the student and teacher. So then we have a parent teacher meeting to physically discuss things and motivational session to motivate parent along with the student, obviously. And then progress monitor, we update our parent to give what is the progress on a weekly basis. So basically our time duration is not more than a week. So that if something is going wrong, everyone should know that something is going wrong and we can take corrective action. We should not wait for the end of the year. And learning platform is like we have our LMS connected adopt something else through which student is going to learn. So this is the ecosystem which is actually at the front, and then we have all the management and other people who are behind the scene to working for this ecosystem to work in a very, very effective manner. These are the student journey. This is how we ask our student to learn. So there is some, uniqueness in this journey. For example, if the student is in class 7 and he is joining, so then we ask the student to start with class 1 mathematics, and student going to learn mathematics for 2 hours on a daily basis. So this will happen till class 6. And after class 6, we introduce science along with mathematics. So then math will happen only for an hour, and then science will happen for that other 1 hour. And by the time a student is actually completed class 7 in the school, he or she is already done with the class 8 math and science. So now you can see, if the student is already done with the class 8, while the student is actually in class 7, you can imagine the performance of the student in the class. Because someone who knows 8th standard thing, it will be really easy for him or her to answer any question in the class 7 or the lower class math and science. So the student is going to get actually advantage in the current class because of this. Then in the next year, while the student is in class 8, he is going to cover 9th and 10th mathematics and science. Imagine the same thing will happen, like 8th standard student knowing 10th math and science. Then 8th standard math and science will be like so easy for him. And then again, while the student is in 9th class, he is already done with the 11th standard thing. And while in the 10th standard, 12th standard is done. So basically what we are saying is, in 4 years, we have covered mathematics of 12th year, and then science of class 7 to class 12. So a student is actually getting a complete 2-year advantage in terms of time. Now a student can plan like whether he want to go for NEET, JEE, this, that, whatever student want can actually decide, because he has actually gone through everything. He knows like what to do now. So suppose he is planning for any competitive exams, then next 2 years are there for the competitive exam, because his syllabus and everything is already covered. So here we are giving 2 years solid advantage in terms of time, which is something everyone actually try to exploit, meaning cover the syllabus as early as possible and then spend the remaining time for revision and preparation for the competitive exams. Similarly, 8th standard, you can see like we try to give advantage in the current class. That is the strategy, and that's how it works. Again, 9th standard, same advantage in the current standard, and 11th standard, same. So 11th is kind of exceptional in the sense in 1 year, the student has to go through so many things. So which is almost kind of very difficult and almost impossible. But the students have done like in 6 to 7 months time, they have done mathematics up to 10th standard. So we don't have much data here, but we have data till 8th standard and 9th standard data. We have a lot of data we have. So this is the early result that we have got. We'll explain like what is this plot. So we have registration throughout the year. We don't have any starting date because there is no common lecture for a student. So there is no delay kind of thing. You can come anytime and you join us any day of the year. That's not a problem. And whenever you join, the journey is already defined. You have to follow that journey. And since it is self-paced learning, you don't bother about what others are doing. So so basically the blue bar, this is the attendance duration, meaning attendance in month, and the red one, the orange one, is the speed. Speed calculated, meaning per subject, one subject takes 1 year to complete, and here how much time it has taken. So with respect to the regular learning speed and this here, this speed is calculated, and the bottom it shows 7, 8, 9, and 10. This is the class. So 7 is standard. So this data is taken for a number of students, and I have taken average of it just to make it simple to understand. So on an average, a student take 5 months time to complete mathematics from 1 class to 7 class. And the student are actually are from different classes. Huh? So the variation in the student level is also there. So on an average, 5 months to complete 7 years mathematics. And if you see the speed, it is about 17 times the regular learning speed. Here in the class 8, we have, based upon the data, it says like on an average, student take about 7 months time to complete 8 years mathematics. And this is about 14 times faster than the average learning speed. Here we have 9th and 10th standard data. You can see like students have taken actually lesser time as compared to these two. The reason being, these students joined in the class 9th and they are, I mean, little mature. So they took lesser time to complete the early classes. So you can see on an average in 9th standard, students have taken 4 months time to complete 9 years mathematics. And their speed is about 27 times the average learning speed. In class 10, again, we see like a student took about 4 months time to complete 10 years mathematics, and their learning speed is about 30 times of the regular learning speed. So this data is not linear, not consistent, based upon the sample that we have collected and the student that they have joined. We don't have large sample here. We have only about 94 students now, and the data we have collected was about some 20 different students of the past year, not the current year. So so this is the kind of finding that we get. And on top of this, I would say like we have students who are very weak in mathematics. Some of them failed in the mathematics, and they came here and they are showing very fast learning speed, and then their scores are improved like anything. So those students who are failing now, they are getting 80 plus and so on. Those who are actually getting 60%, 70%, they are getting 90 plus and so on. So that is the kind of a difference that we are able to bring in. And this entire thing happens only 6 days a week for 2 hours only. There is no homework. You don't have to do anything pre or post. Just come, join, and learn and go. That's it. So in summary, students are able to complete 1 year's mathematics in less than a month. This is general. You can see this is how it happens. Learning speed is up to 30 times the regular learning speed that we have seen here. Students have different classes and backgrounds, so different learning speeds. So this is what we have seen. However, irrespective of the speed, what we have seen, which is very consistent, is they are having a very quantum jump kind of thing in terms of mathematics and score. And many students who joined, they were actually afraid of mathematics. We actually converted into mathematics lover. So this kind of change we are able to bring in the students. So any point anyone want to make at this point, because we are toward the end of our discussion now. How to measure student learning speed? Okay, so basically in so standard is 1 year mathematics takes 1 year time. One class mathematics takes 1 year time. Comparatively, how much time it takes here? So that comparison is with the regular learning speed, and that factor is coming from that calculation. Okay, so let me go to next one. So how I mean this result is we have started last year this pilot project. We name it Peak Academy, and this is Peak has got this full form, Program of Excellence in Academics by Karma. So it is an excellence program, and especially in mathematics and science. This is the building that we have office. We have 2 offices in this building. In it is in Kausarbagh of Pune city in Kodwa area. So this is the vision of our you can say the pilot project that we are having. So nation building through education by making academic excellence easily achievable using innovative and revolutionary concept. This is our vision, and this is the mission that we are having, to harness the power of modern technology and utilize the virtues of traditional learning. So you can see we have tried to utilize modern technology along with the traditional learning system to build the academic and moral foundation of 2 lakh students per year by providing mastery-based accelerated learning. The idea is at the national level, can we put as a booster to the student who are from the different background, so that they are, before they are passing 12th standard, their subject and other things are taken care and they can make big decisions in their life. So that is the idea here. So there is a question. Peak Academy is both online and offline. This is our offline classroom. You can see the student, they come and sit with their notebook and pen, and then they learn through our computers and listen to the lecture through headphone. And the teacher is actually, they are supposed to walk through the student and see if they are facing any difficulty and help them there. So that is the model here. Then for online student, if they are learning on mobile phone, they are supposed to share their screen, and teacher will be watching their screen. So we are learning through Zoom. So we have this feature where each and every student can share their screen, and teacher can actually see like who is doing what and so on. And if the teacher find that they are getting stuck, then teacher can ask for help and so on. So, and the student can also ask for help. So essentially it's both ways. It's not like student has to ask all the time. Teacher also understands something is going wrong, then teacher can simply come and intervene. We said like we have this career guidance sessions. So we had a number of sessions on career guidance, JEE, NEET, biotechnology, new education policy, and what next after 10th and 12th. So we discussed about 200 different career options after 10th standard and 12th standard and so on. Then, as I said, like we have week champion concept, where we give certificate to the best student every month, and then give some monetary prizes as well. So this is our organization. That's how we do. Everything is headed by a director, which is me, and then we have a program manager, Tausif sir, who is there in the call. Then we have finance support and advisor from Kamar Khan. He is also there in the call. And then we have a team of advisors like Salam Siddiqui and so on. So these people, they advise us in different aspects. Then under program manager, we have academic, LMS, and research. So academic head is our master. He is a master's in mechanical engineering. Learning management system is taken care by Wajia ma'am. She is BTech in civil engineering. And then research, we have a Saib Bhai and his team. He is BTech from IT Roorkee and MBA from IIM Lucknow. And then his team has got different ITNs and other senior people who's working in research and other companies. Then in the advisory team, we have a planning team and expansion team. This is a big number of people, they are connected to us. And then we have almost covered almost entire country. I mean, leaving east, extreme south and north, We have starting from Gujarat to Bihar, and then from Delhi to Karnataka, we have students. So these are my our contacts. If anyone want to connect, you can connect with us. We'll share this link in the chat also. So now I am almost done. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Now we can have question and answer.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Do you have any offline program at Bangalore? As per your website, you're only at Pune.
Yes, sir. So right now we are having in Pune only. We don't have offline in other cities. We are working in Delhi right now. But Bangalore we don't have. But a student can learn online.
So it means if they take an online this thing, so they can directly write the board exam, CBSE 10th.
So basically we follow a CBSE pattern only, and we will take care of mathematics and science. Other subject you have to manage.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank you for this session. Jazakallah khair for your time and efforts. And Alhamdulillah, you've come up with a really brilliant plan. I really like the way, you're covering more classes in lesser time. So I'm a homeschooling mom, and I've completed like 2 classes per year for my children. So I know this system is going to work, inshallah. So few months back, I was searching for such program, and I didn't know about you at that time for my children. So I really appreciate it, what you've come up with, and alhamdulillah for the facility that, that you have this online facility where other parents can benefit from it. So I just want to congratulate for what you're doing. So yeah, Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
the only remark I would like to make is like, you need to have really, efficient teachers for this system to work. So unless the teacher is passionate about the subject, they're not going to be able to, transfer the love for the subject in the student. So please ensure that you have that. So, inshallah, your system will work, inshallah.
Shukriya for your comments. Yeah, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much for this session.
Yeah, I would like to make one comment here. Although I mentioned some names, and then we showed like Peak Academy and so on and so forth. But frankly speaking, it's not our proprietary. Everything is non-profit. It is for us. It's for everyone. So whoever is interested, whoever want to join, whoever want to start a center in their city, location, and so on and so forth. If you are running a school, you want to collaborate, we are just open for everything. So it's just non-profit. What we want is the excellence that I mentioned in the beginning of my presentation. We want through education, we see that we can make a difference in this country, and then we can really become #1 in the world. Fee policy for Pune Center is 1,000 per month. Joining fees 1,000 per month. How much a student can retain his concept through. So essentially, I think you missed this point. We have continuous testing. And then monthly basis, we have physical exam also. So we take utmost care of retention part through different exams and tests. So we continuously keep on having tests. Learning is very minimal.
Assalamu alaikum. I have one more question. Continuing what you said, you can join hands with us. So what exactly do you mean? Let's say if I'm in Bangalore, you need some space and for us to start this kind of a center?
So the way we want to work is like this. We don't want to own things. We want to support things. So suppose if you want, you can start your center. We will provide all the technology, all the training, all the input requires to run your center. If you are a school, if you're running a school, so for example, we have a collaboration with two different schools. One is blind school and one is regular school. So then they have put one representative. They have registered some of their students and they are learning. And then what they are learning, we are monitoring their progress in the class through the representative. So this is one model. But they can also have kind of a dedicated slot in the classroom where entire batch learns this through our system. But then we have to manage all the IT stuff like computers, Wi-Fi, and power, and so on and so forth.
Okay, thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum.
I am Dr. Zahir from Ramanagara. I have one question regarding the learning of the students. Basically, mathematics needs the practice.
Correct.
And we are running engineering college. I am working as a principal here.
Yes, sir.
So most of the time, students forget the mathematics.
Correct.
So it is very difficult for our teacher then how they will teach them, because they forgot their basic in class 11th and 12th.
Correct. So sir, I mean, thank you very much. Essentially, we realize this problem because students go and join engineering colleges, but they don't understand 6th and 7th standard concepts. To fill that gap, we have this concept. That is one. And second, just to add to what you said, we have few students who are actually doing engineering in first year, and they are learning mathematics here of 10th and 11th standard. That's how it is happening. There is no way. There is no way. There is no shortcut to this. You have to learn from this.
डिस्टर्ब बताए क्या रीजन क्या है खाना खाने के बाद फौरन लेट जाते हैं.
Any other question? What's wrong?
Timing ka what someone is asking, I think.
Okay, Kamar Bhai has replied 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 2 batches in the evening, 2 hours each.
One more question here. You just for mathematics or physics and chemistry also you started?
Yes, so we have science also, maths and science. Science, I mean physics, chemistry, biology.
Thanks.
Shall we get the PPTs and recording itself?
Is there any criteria for the students?
No,
maybe
there is no criteria. Only criteria for the student that a student along with parent is the student want to learn. That is the only criteria. We don't take tests. We don't filter students.
Shall we get the PPT and recording of this session?
I think we have
please.
recording.
Yeah, please check the chat box. So the recording link is shared in the chat box. So after a few days, recording will be available at tinyurl.com/mfird. And it is also live on YouTube, and that live link is already put in the chat box. So you can get from the YouTube directly also.
I could not come online. So yeah.
So any last questions from the audience?
Somebody is asking, is it a state syllabus or CBSE syllabus? And whether you're asking state syllabus.
No, we follow CBSE.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
That will cover up state also, right? All the
Mostly. Actually, here we have to take some decision. The criteria here is like this. All the competitive exams, they are based on CBSE syllabus. So there may be little mismatch at the state level, board level, but in the end, student have to face that. So it will be like prudent to start with the ultimate goal that we are having. That is the final competitive exams and so on, and not the board marks. However, board marks are important, but they are not the ultimate goal. So that's how the decision is. However, since we are completing the syllabus early, student has got good amount of time to cover the delta. So that's how we are doing. Yeah. Any other question? I think some question.
Dilshad bhai,
Ji.
may I ask a question?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum.
My question is that if there is a school in a remote location where paying capacity is very less, so how you can help those students if they are interested? Suppose if they are running a small schools in a remote location.
Yes. So thank you very much, Awad Alam sir. I missed this this aspect completely. So let me add here. See, we cannot differentiate because of a financial background of a student. Our differentiation criteria is the effort of the student. So if someone don't want to put effort, we cannot run after the speed. But someone is trying to put the effort, there is no reason not to allow the student to learn and grow. So for those schools or individuals who are not able to pay because of so many reasons, we have a mechanism to give 50% scholarship and 100% scholarship. We don't call this free education. It is a scholarship. Someone is going to pay and someone is going to ask a student question like whether you are actually learning or not. So it won't be like you are free and then come and go, not like that. But if you are willing to learn, you are most welcome.
No, my question is, if by and large the students are not in a position to pay, then we have any kind of mechanism so that in large student we can because this is not for, I know if they are good, then you can have a scholarship system or we can help them or other way. But in large, if the maybe in a school catering to privileged students, or they are not in a position to pay in too much of amount. So for those,
please. Yeah, understood. Yeah, Kamar bhai, you want to take this question?
So we have like scholarship options. So if a student is good, he wants to learn and and financially like he is not able to pay, then we have option for 50% scholarship as well as 100% scholarship. So so money is not a criteria for a student to learn here. But yes, we want this program to be run as a self-sustainable pace. So we do want some, we do charge some fee, which is very nominal, 1,000 rupee per month. But yes, for a financially poor background, we do provide a scholarship for 50% as well as 100%. Did I answer?
yeah, it's okay. That's okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
One more question. Peak Academy had come to the Maharashtra MFERD program in Mumbai to give a presentation regarding which was for principals and management. So you are, because I think I didn't listen to this, I'll see the recording later. Is it for schools or is it for individual parents teaching at home?
So just to answer your question, this is for student, and a student can come through parent, or a group of a student through a school can also come. School itself can adopt the system at the school level. The end goal is a student should learn. Did I answer your question? Counsel?
Yeah, that presentation was given in front of school leaders, management and principals.
Correct, correct. So there the idea was like school leaders, if they find it useful, and they can make arrangement in the school itself, we are ready to assist in whatever way we can. So as I said, like our entire process, entire system is non-profit. We are open to collaborate with the schools or other entities, and whatever learning management system, IT system, whatever knowledge and everything is their process, it will be just shared with the schools.
Okay, Jazakallah.
So any last question from the audience? Okay, so I think there are no more questions. So I'd like to thank all the audience for their active participation, and we truly hope this will become useful to many other students as well as teachers. So thanks a lot, Dilshad Bhai, for your enlightening session, and inshallah we'll keep on hearing more from you. So Jazakumullah khair, Dilshad Bhai.
जी अबरार भाई बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, MFIRD का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमको प्लेटफॉर्म देने के लिए, और सारे ऑडियंस लाइक जिन लोगों ने भी सुना, क्वेश्चंस किया, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर योर टाइम एंड पेशेंस एंड आस्किंग सो मेनी क्वेश्चंस. All the questions are really relevant and very important questions raised that helped me to answer some of the questions that I missed out. Thank you very much.
So inshallah people can contact you over phone also, right, if they have further questions?
Correct. We have shared our connect details, our program manager and principal. Anytime they want to ask any question, connect, they can connect.
Okay, Jazakumullah khair. Okay, with this we close the session. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum.
Walaikum assalam.